So working with Misfit markets again, I'm gonna use 3 ingredients from the box: purple potatoes, the smaller turnips, and purple onion. I'm gonna add some things that we already had at home to make a gratin. So let's see how this goes. Right, to start this one, I have never made this before, but my idea is layering the beautiful orange, the white turnips. I'm just using the smallest 3. I have 2 larger ones. Look how pretty the purple potatoes are, scrubbed up. They are tiny. And then green with the ends of the broccoli. So I want to layer these and put them in a reduced, not too high calorie, milk and cheese mixture. So I'm going to get to slicing these very, very thinly. I'm going to go ahead and move the potatoes off to a little bowl of water while we are slicing. So those don't have to be in salted water. The point of the water is just to keep them from turning brown. I picked the biggest carrots from the carrot bag that we had. Bigger carrots would probably have been better. This is what we actually have. We usually use baby carrots, but I'm going to go a little different and slice these on an angle. The reason is I want to keep them as close to the size of the potatoes as I can. So I'm going to give them a chop, and I want to kind of keep the amount of carrots, potatoes, and turnips the same. So as my carrot is getting thinner towards the bottom, I'm going to angle my knife just a little further down to widen that cut just a little bit. And I'm going to actually switch to leaving this for another recipe. Then I'll switch to different carrot. Not wasting these. They are just going to go into a different recipe. Comparable to the amount of potatoes, so that when I layer them, they'll kind of be similar. I'm just going to throw these into the bowl or into the measuring cup with the potatoes and the water. There's no reason to put the carrots in there, but it's easier and they're out of my way. Last one is the turnips. Actually, not the last one. I have the turnips and the broccoli to deal with. I only have a few stems of broccoli, and you've seen me do these before. Pull off the leaves. Not that there's anything wrong with the leaves, but they're going to come off in a minute anyway. There will be fewer bits of broccoli in there, but that's okay. Let's start with a smaller knife. And I'm actually going to peel the turnips. I did scrub them, but I know that the outer skin sometimes can be tough. I doubt it's going to be tough on these. Turnips have a little bit of a radish taste to them, pepperiness. They're going to taste more like a radish than a potato. For the redo?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You have to play a game with them, but I don't know if I know the answers.
Then you need to go back through the lesson. Once you tell her that your Mac was acting stupid and you don't understand why all the answers changed or something like that, and just ask her to reset it. So just do what I said. I'm trying to make a gratin, like potato gratin.
All rotten.
Yeah, but it's got the purple potatoes, a little bit of the turnips, and then I'll put carrots and broccoli. Because I'm trying to film. To minimize the flavor of the turnips. I'm going to use a 1/2 cup of milk in the recipe anyway. That was the plan. I'm going to go with 1/2 cup milk. 1/2 cup of whole milk and just a little bit of Parmesan cheese is going to be the only things that we actually have to count points wise. When you have something that's really strong flavored, whether it's a meat, sometimes stew meat, or even venison, if you eat venison, has a really strong flavor, you can negate some of that flavor, you can minimize that flavor, you can get away with some of that flavor, cancel it out with a little bit of a milk bath. So we often call this a milk bath. I'm going to cut this one a little bit thinner. Oh, going to cut me a little bit thinner. So I'm going to soak these in just a little bit of milk for a little while I'm finishing everything else. Let these go. Cut the ends off the broccoli, dry ends. Of course, just as before, grab, pull down. Get all of that hard skin off. So there's going to be less of the broccoli ends, but that's okay. They are, you know, just little bits of filler. I'm going to start layering in the vegetables, alternating them. I may not get them exactly in the same pattern because of the number of vegetables. I have different amounts, so it's not going to be a perfectly established pattern, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Doesn't seem that the turnips are too strong. I think it's because they're the smaller, like baby turnips basically. I didn't use the larger ones that came in the Misfit Market box. I still have those. So I still have the larger ones. I'm going to use them in something else. I haven't decided yet. Maybe something with that little baby cabbage. I'm going to drain these and reserve the milk. I'm not going to waste the milk. So I'll be able to use that in the recipe itself. I'm going to go ahead and weigh the potatoes so I know exactly how much we need to count as far as points go. The carrots are 0 points. Turnip, I guess I need to check. Let's see if turnips are 0 points. So, oh, perfect. 9 ounces. We have 9 ounces of potatoes. So going from there, that's what we're going to build a gratin with. Just alternating the different vegetables. I'm going to space these out a little. It's a larger dish, and yeah. It looks like I'll have more potatoes, so I'll probably do something along that line right there. Potato, 2 separate carrot, turnip, potato, broccoli, carrot, potato. So just an alternation of them, something along those lines. These are little leftovers. My daughter got Domino's pizza the other day. So these are little Parmesan leftovers they sent, or little Parmesan buckets, I guess. We're not gonna waste them. So for the first layer, I'm gonna start with about a tablespoon. Sprinkle it on evenly. Ooh, yeah, I said evenly. So I'm gonna sprinkle that one on. Start with, and then I'm gonna keep going just as before. Alternating the layers, alternating the vegetables, and just seeing what we come up with. That's okay. I'm gonna come back in with 2 more tablespoons of the Parmesan cheese this time for the top. Using up that last little bits. Should have 2 more. Yep, right on. That's going to give you a lot of salt. So I'm not going to add any salt to this dish. If anybody wants salt, they can salt it on their own plate. That's that one. Then I want to come in with that milk. That's the milk where we drained the turnips. That's where they were draining. And this is the milk where they were soaking. So I'm going to pour that milk. I'm going to pour it on the side so it doesn't disturb the Parmesan. Just drizzle that in on the side. I'm going to bake this at 350 degrees covered for about 20-30 minutes. See how it does. If it looks too dry, I'm going to actually add a tablespoon of butter. I'll let you know at the end. There's not a lot of milk in here. That's okay. The vegetables have their own amount of liquid. They don't really need anything else. Once it's covered, it should bake off very, very well. Let's see how this one works out. So here is the turnip, potato, and carrot gratin. It's beautiful. Oh, it does have a little broccoli in it. So that baked at 350 degrees. Everything is nice and tender. It smells delicious. So it smells good. We'll plate it up and see how it goes with the family. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.